Hi, I'm Annika Johnson from Al Johnson's in Sister Bay. I hope you enjoy my new video series called Door County Girl. These are stories of my life, the people and places that I love, and of course how we all survive here in northern Wisconsin. You can come back as often as you like, but don't forget to subscribe to Al's YouTube channel. I'll be posting lots of really cool new videos. So let's go. Welcome to another episode of Door County Girl. I'm back in the kitchen at Al Johnson's Swedish restaurant, and we are going to be talking to one of our past employees that has been here since he was probably in his teens. And his name is David Daubner. We all know him as Dabo. Everybody in Door County has a nickname. And Dabo, David Daubner, has probably worked here, I'm just guessing, but probably since he was maybe about 14. And my dad and him were great friends. He ran the kitchen, made sure everything got done that needed to be done, all the meatballs, everything, the pancake batter. So he ran a tight ship, but he was fun to work with as well. And after he retired from here, he opened up the Sister Bay Cafe across the street with his wife, Sue. And they are now retired and enjoying a little bit of life on their own. They travel a little more, and she does a little more artwork. So anyhow, Dabo has an interesting life, and I hope you enjoy this next video.
I was born in Sister Bay in 1947. I came, grew up here all my life, several times from school and different things, left, come back. I started with Al Johnson's when I was about 12 years old. A funny story there is my sister worked there when she was going to college, and I'd come down to the beach not having any money. I'd come there and into the kitchen and say, "Sharon, can you give me a dime for a Coke or something?" And all of a sudden Al started seeing this, and he says, "Now you can't be taking money from your sister. She works hard for that." So therefore he said, "Here, you go pull some weeds out there. I'll give you that dime." So that's what started about when I was 12. And then when I started in high school, I started working in the kitchen and weekends and evenings and throughout high school. And then when it came to after high school, I thought, well, this is a great life. So with working, I had saved up the money, so I went to Culinary Institute of America. At that time, it was in New Haven, Connecticut. Now they picked up their whole campus and moved to Hyde Park, New York. But after I graduated there, I liked it in Door County so much that instead of taking a job with one of the larger hotels, restaurants, I decided to come back to Door County. And Al's was my love and helped me so much and worked with it here so much. So I came back, started working here. Enjoyed the business, loved the business actually, and well, because I've been into it my whole life, and that's where I came from. When Memorial Day started, I mean, we had people all over the place, and as the summer went, it was nice and busy. But when Labor Day came, the old cliche, they rolled up the sidewalks, and that was no lie. And as the years went by, our fall season became bigger and bigger. But during growing up, it was one season town. I was more from the country. I was a country boy, so I had to travel about 5 to 6 miles into town. So I didn't spend much time in Sister Bay itself. I spent out in the country. My place when I came to this area, the restaurant. My father was a commercial fisherman most of his life. Down in Gills Rock, Elson Bay. My mother was a teacher in the county. Went through high school up here, went to the CIA, worked at Al's, and then after that I got drafted, so I went through the service from 67 to 70. Went to Vietnam. I ended up being a mess sergeant, so I was in charge of a mess hall with the 11th Armored Cav. So over there, so that's and each point was different experiences that I could bring back here. One interesting thing there is I was also the chef at the Officers Club in Fort Sheridan. Then after service, I came back, started working for Al full time, but then I decided to take management courses. So I went to University of Wisconsin Stout, got my degree in hotel restaurant management, and always came back seasons. And then in '75, then it was full-time year-round at Al's. But what was nice, easy about that transition is not much has changed. See, once we had the system down that worked, we kept it going. And people that had to learn the system, if something new came in, we didn't change that much. We kept the system as is because it worked fine for our establishment. I remember it as being a place for people to gather more than a place to go out to eat. I remember over the years at 6 o'clock when we opened, there was a group of guys came in for coffee. That was the 6 o'clock guys. Then the 9 o'clock group came in. Then the 11:30 group came in. And it was just mostly the same guys, but they came to socialize. Evenings were, you went out with the family and had a dinner, and it wasn't going out, especially, it was more going out as a family experience. Growing up, I had great teachers. Mother was a good cook, and then all of a sudden I came down here and I saw learning to cook in the commercial way. I really enjoyed that, the putting together the whole concept of different foods together in one product. It was always been a passion. I felt comfortable. I think the best word is comfortable. I feel comfortable in a kitchen. I feel relaxed. The work is hard, but when you feel relaxed, it doesn't feel hard. So that, and then going into it, then that way I went through the school. And it just taught me basics, and then you would go from the basics on. The '60s was an interesting period because it was a period where like you said, there wasn't as much business, and all of a sudden, if somebody was cooking and wanted to go fishing, he put a sign on the front door, "Gone fishing, be back." And it wasn't, people said, weren't like, "Oh my gosh, how can they do that?" And the other thing was interesting is years ago we used to have the volunteer fire department, and there was nobody at the station. The station was across the street by the post office, and the first one there would ring the bell, and everybody rushed to the fire. Well, a lot of times most of the cooks were firemen, so we'd shut the grills off and go to the fire, and then come back and clean up and take care. So it was more relaxed, I would say. I would think that way. I think relaxed would be the word. Danny and I were great friends. He helped me through all of the teenage years. Kept me on like a straight and narrow during the teenage years. Him and Al, they helped, and kept me straight and narrow. Where the parent, when you wouldn't tell the parents, I'd come down and talk to Al or Danny. So that was good for my life there. Danny left, and he proceeded to do other careers, and then he got into the Viking, and then I took over his position in the realm. When I first walked into the kitchen, my experience of the kitchen in the beginning was loud. Everybody was yelling and screaming and yelling and yelling. I'm going, what is going on? And finally, after in that situation, you don't even realize you're yelling. The waitresses, in this situation, the waitresses yell the order in, and they have to yell higher than the noise of the kitchen, so they're high. And the cooks are yelling back and forth at each other, and all this noise is going on. Going, what's going on? So, but like I said, after you've been in it, the noise goes away. But my first impression of the kitchen is loud, very loud. The easiest way to work in that kitchen is if you're in one section, concentrate on your section. Don't try to listen to the whole order, because it would drive you crazy. You know, because you have to trust the person alongside of you that he's going to hear his section. So they always start at one, like the one pancakes, and go right down the line. And so when all of a sudden you hear your first thing on your section, then you concentrate on that, on what is being called in. And then when they start going somewhere else, you stop listening, and then you're organizing yourself. And the reason that works so well like that is most of the stuff is in one realm of time, from the longest to the shortest. So you know that if chicken was called in, it was going to take 8 to 12 minutes, and you have a hamburger and it's going to take 3 to 4 minutes. You know how to get everything in a flow to get out at the same time. And that also is for the wait staff. And once we get all the food up, it goes up onto this line, and they're grabbing what they need, so they have to be organized enough to know what to grab. Don't grab the wrong thing, because then it makes for an interesting couple minutes. At first, man, there was a lot of pancakes in the garbage. Well, I had trouble, cutting. Spreading out I had okay, but cutting I had a little problem. But after, it's just doing it. I could do 2 grills, and some of the guys could do 3 grills, and I said, "Oh, you're kidding me!" And those people were really fast. Oh well, from where the pancake grills down was all the kitchen. Then they added the dishwashing area, and then the large addition to the back. So, but the food was more basic, and after the years, after the kids, after Ralph and Lars and Annika took over, and they started improving different. But while Al was here, he kept it pretty much as is. He didn't like to stray too much. Al had a thought mindset: if it's good, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Back then, is a lot of local not distributors, people that grew things, came and sold, and you always bought. We always bought what we could, but we always had to supplement, because you come in 3 weeks of fresh strawberries from the growers, and then all the strawberries are done, so you have to get them somewhere else. And potatoes, we got potatoes from Freddie K. I got that from Freddie K. And different things. Whitefish, whitefish we always got locally. That was a done deal. Oh, well. Obviously, the hair has changed a little. That's Granilla and Liselat, 2 other Swedish girls. Granilla is still here, married to Tom Wilson, and it was fun. It was enjoyable. We worked hard, and then we went out and played hard too. So it was a young people time. It was fun. All I can think was fun, because the work was really hard, but there was a lot of places to go and enjoy it. It's probably just like it is now. I couldn't do it. It was way past bedtime now. Where last night, at those times, you didn't get out of here until 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then you went out. So what was interesting is it all depended. Each side of the county of the year, one side was everybody went to the Fish Creek side, and one year everybody went to the Bailey's Harbor side. So it just ran into cycles. And some brave people tried to make the whole circuit. Fish Creek, all the over the Bailey's Harbor and around. Those are brave people. The quality of food that's out there now, the atmosphere, the outdoor seating, with the good weather, it's been beautiful. With the addition of the park, people are enjoying that and coming into rediscover Sister Bay, I guess. The memories I have of Al's in the kitchen is the memories of like a family, you know, where you all of a sudden somebody's yelling at you, and before the day is done, it's smoothed over or apologized or taken care of. Just like a family, you know, you have arguments, but they're taken care of. That's the way I felt about Al's. You know, it was like family. When the restaurant was being built, when the logs were being shipped over, Wink had gotten somebody to call Al and told him that his logs were tied up in customs for going to be at least 6 to 8 months before they were released. You should have seen Al on that phone then. That was an interesting way to talk. I was around for when the roof was first put on. Al had this obsession of watering. He always watered. Well, what he didn't realize was there was plastic underneath the thing. He watered so hard, the grass was sliding off. And there at midnight, here's Al trying to hold up the grass on his roof as it's sliding toward him. But that was After when I was with Al's, my wife and I, she's from Norway, so we decided to keep on the Scandinavian idea, but we couldn't go Swedish because that's across the street. We're the Norwegians. So then we just made it toward more Norwegian flair, and we had a small gift shop too, the shop too. So every winter we flew over to Norway and did buying in Norway and bought the stuff over. Of course, it was in the winter. It's a little different than going in the spring, but it's spring and summer. But that was our life. We weren't traveling in the summer. We weren't. What was my favorite food? I just loved the hamburgers. I really, I mean, it's so basic, but you know, the taste of it was a great hamburger. One of the great reasons for the success of Al Johnson's is Al Johnson, because when he went through the room, he had a personality that would just light up the room. He knew people, he talked to people, he could remember you from a year ago, and people love that, to being recognized.
Well, that is David Daubner. I'm glad you guys sat in and you listened to a little bit of his history with Al Johnson's Swedish Restaurant. Again, this is one of those people that we cannot run a business without. Al Johnson's would not be what it is today if it hadn't been for his guidance through the years. So don't forget to like and subscribe blah, 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 at the bottom of the page. And you can join me again with some other great things that are happening around Door County. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye. Thanks for watching Door County Girl. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.